Hello everyone, welcome to Patrick Henry High School in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Tonight we have a game featuring women's blue chip basketball with the Minnesota Black Guys and the Missouri St. Archangels. Yep. And so today we're going to have a great game, and Alex, I just want to know, what are you looking forward to most during this game?
Well, the thing I'm looking for most here, Tia, is how well the Missouri Archangels rebound from their first loss here a weekend ago. They dropped a tough 62-58 decision to the Illinois Shooting Stars. So I want to see how well they rebound from that disappointment from a weekend ago.
Right. I definitely think that'll be interesting to see how they start off their season, especially with one loss. But what I'm looking forward to definitely is growing up in Minnesota, playing basketball, I see a lot of familiar names here. And so I definitely want to see how they're playing right now.
No question about it. And I think for this Minnesota Black Ice team, I want to see how well they come out of the gate tonight. You know, this is their first game of the season tonight. And it'll be interesting to see, you know, given the relatively limited amount of time they've had for practice, how well they mesh together out there on the floor, especially for the first 10 minutes or so. I want to see how well they come together and if they can limit the turnovers and make things happen on offense.
Right. I think with guards that like they have on the Minnesota Black Guys, from what I know too, I think they'll handle the pressure very good. So it'll be interesting to see, and we'll have a great game tonight.
Well, and you look at this Missouri Archangels team, as we mentioned here, they lost a tough 62-58 decision. Now their leading scorer on that team is Nikki Lawrence, who had 17 points last week, and followed closely by Kayla Dampier with her 13 points.
Okay.
But the one person I'm looking for, and what I think has to be an integral part for success for the Missouri Archangels, is the rebounding and defense, and leading that way will be Suzanne Grosnickel. She has to have a big game, I think, for her, you know, for that team to have success here tonight.
Definitely, because last game she had about 12 rebounds, if I saw it correctly.
And 9 were those were offensive rebounds, I believe.
Wow.
So if she can replicate that kind of performance from last weekend, they certainly have a shot here tonight.
All right, sounds good. There you have it. All right, folks, we're about a minute underway, and I'm going to tell you the starters for tonight. For Minnesota, we have number 32, Kasheen Alexander, 42, Bjorky Lech, 21, Ellis Milan, 15, Sally, and 11, Scott. For Missouri, we have number 3, Lawrence, 35, Dampier, 43, Grosnickel, 12, Cook, and 4, Minner.
You look at this Minnesota Black Ice roster, and as you mentioned at the top, Tia, there's some very familiar names in there. Kasheen Alexander, who, of course, had a great career at Iowa. Jillian Bjorky Lech, who I remember very well when she played at Concordia St. Paul. Ashley Ellis Milan, of course, from University of Minnesota. So there's a lot of familiar names. And, of course, Brianna Sally from right here in the Twin Cities played 1 year at Minnesota as well.
Kasheen Alexander, that's your alma mater, isn't it? Iowa?
Yes, oh yeah.
Okay.
Even though I consider myself a UCLA Bruin first, I always have a soft spot for the Hawkeyes.
Everyone has that one team that just kind of doesn't make sense.
Yeah, yeah. And again here, I think it's going to be very important for Minnesota to limit the turnovers here in the first 10-20 minutes, get some cohesiveness on offense, and see they can flow really well. So here we go.
Missouri won the tip. Getting to the basket right away, dishes off for 2.
Good job getting isolation down low on that shot.
Looks like Minnesota's going to go to the inside-out action, starting off early. Now we have a break into action called on 42, Bjorky Lech.
She had a great career at Concordia St. Paul, Tia.
Really?
The one thing I think you can tell right away about this Missouri Archangel teams is that they're very quick, very athletic, and that could be problematic for Minnesota as this game wears on.
Especially in the athleticism aspect. So it'll be interesting to see how Minnesota can handle them driving to the basket.
Wow.
And we got a 3.
Tanisha Scott with that one.
That was deep. And now we have a shot clock violation. Might I remind you, it's international rules, so there's a 24-second shot clock. And that'll definitely be something that these ladies have to be mindful of.
How tough is it of an adjustment is that with that kind of a shot clock when you come into a setting like this, Tia, do you think?
It's definitely quicker. Most times when you come from the high school level, there's no shot clock at all in Minnesota. And then when you get to college, there's a 30-second shot clock, if I'm not mistaken. So those 6 seconds can mean all the difference, especially when you're on the court.
A little break in the action. I'm not sure what they're discussing.
Oh.
Ooh. Well, right now, you have to admit Minnesota's looking fairly consistent on offense. You know, they haven't had any turnover problems yet. They look fairly fluid, so you have to be, if you're Melissa Young, I think you have to be very pleased with what you see, although I probably jinxed them right there.
A little bit. They look comfortable, though, definitely. They've settled down into the offense that they want to run. They're trying to get inside over the last 4 possessions from what I've seen. So, and we have a turnover committed by Missouri. Two offensive rebounds in a row by Minnesota, and 1.
And that obviously has to be a key for the Black Ice here tonight. They can get second and third chances.
And that's something Missouri will want to watch out for as well.
And Sally had a couple of good looks down there in the left corner, but just couldn't connect.
Right. I'd assume that if they keep leaving her open like that, she's going to knock one down. And we have a steal by Tanisha Scott. Lays it in with the reverse layup. Beautiful play. Ellis Milan with the board, and Minnesota is on the break. Oh. Missouri's gotten 2 offensive rebounds. Now it's a foul committed by Minnesota.
And that was Grosnickel there with that rebound.
So we talked about earlier. 12 rebounds last game, so Minnesota definitely wants to get a body on her. Grosnickel hits the first. Grosnickel hits the second, and now we have an 11-5 lead by Minnesota. Although she didn't hit that layup, that was a great pass by Tanisha Scott.
Oh, what a move. Nikki Lawrence with that one.
Oh. Good hustle by Sally. Committed a turnover, but then got it right back. As a spectator, you love to see that type of hustle, though.
Yeah. Well, I think right now, again, with an 11-7 lead here in the opening minutes, you know, I think you have to like what you see from the Minnesota Black Ice. You know, they're getting second and third opportunities, which is obviously going to be a key for them if they want to come up on the top end tonight. But, you know, also you have to like the hustle that they're showing on defense, going after loose balls. Those are little things, but they're important things as well.
I think if they can get back to that inside-outside game that they started off with at the beginning.
Absolutely.
That'll definitely help.
You know, I was looking at the roster here, Tia, and for the Minnesota Black Ice, number 40, I don't see her name on yours, and I don't see her on my roster as well, so if we can get some help on that, that would be fabulous. Who was number 40 for the Black Ice? Annika Whiting. Oh, Annika Whiting. That's Annika Whiting. Also a standout at Concordia St. Paul as well.
And Missouri has went into a 2-3 zone is what it looks like. I think they kind of want to cramp up the middle so Minnesota can't get it inside as much. Sally can't connect on the three.
And that's going to go on Annika Whiting there.
So from the looks of it, it looks like Missouri wants to put an end to Minnesota just getting it into the lane and kind of kicking it out for the three, whether it's Sally or Tanisha Scott for right on the three-point line.
So here come the Archangels now with a chance to take the lead.
Minnesota looks to get it down the court quickly, and now we have a foul.
Nice pass by Tanisha Scott inside to Whiting. It's tough to make those passes when you got all that traffic down low.
Definitely. Kind of threaded the needle in there. Whiting comes up short on the first free throw. Minnesota on the break. Tanisha Scott decides to take it against three players. Looking for a foul, but the refs didn't see anything.
Got an extra step there, I believe. And we do.
Have a few substitutions coming in.
Tempest Wilson out of South Dakota.
Coming in for Tanisha Scott.
I tell you what, Missouri Archangels are really packing it down low with that 2-3 zone, Tia.
Definitely, and they're picking up the pressure as well. They're not just sitting back in the 2-3 zone, relaxing. They're getting up in Minnesota's faces. Tempest Wilson puts up the three. That's off the mark. Charge.
Yep.
on Missouri's Lawrence.
Well, after enjoying a nice little 5-point cushion there early on, Tia, the Missouri Archangels have battled back, but they get it down to a single possession, but they haven't yet been able to get their nose out in front.
Right. They're battling. They picked up the defensive pressure, as I've said. I feel that if they can get a few more rebounds, they can definitely take this lead.
Danielle Ellison now in for the Black Ice, giving Ashley Milan a little breather. Boom.
Tempest Wilson puts up a 3 and hits it. So now we talked about Missouri coming back for that lead, and Wilson gives them a little bit more of a cushion to hold on to. Whoa.
Grosnick, who's not known for her scoring, got a look there, and she drained that one from the top of the key.
That's sending a message to Minnesota, don't leave her open.
Yeah, that's...
Now Missouri's back within 2. I always think it's pretty impressive when you see a post step out like that and hit a 3.
Oh, no kidding. Very versatile for sure.
Definitely, and it makes the defense have to spread.
Well, absolutely.
Work a little bit more.
Absolutely. Oh. Well, we try to get these scoreboard problems fixed, and it looks like we're set now, so here we go.
And Missouri got it all the way down to the end of the shot clock, but a foul has been committed.
Well, good job there by the Black Ice, getting into traffic there right in the middle of that 2-3 zone. Some awfully tough going down there.
Definitely, and also milking the shot clock to the last
Yeah,
second.
exactly.
They could have easily put up any shot since it was winding down, but they decided to get to the basket.
We'll try to get a fix on who number 9 is. I can't recognize her.
Harris.
Oh, Venetia. Okay, all right, Venetia Harris. Ooh.
Lawrence puts up a shot, and it's off. I don't think the coach is too happy with that quick shot, but Missouri looks to get it back, though. Like we said before, they're definitely packing up the paint, and it's hard for Minnesota to get anything inside almost. Their last field goal, if I'm not mistaken, was a 3-pointer, so. Minnesota comes up short once again, and Missouri's back with the ball. Wow.
she on number 30? I don't see who that was.
Don't know who it is either.
Yeah, I don't know either.
She had a nice play, though.
That might be another one we have to get Mr. Peden on.
I think we can just give her the name Jane Doe for now. We'll figure it out later.
Number 30. More problems with the scoreboard here, apparently.
I think maybe this time around they'll get it all figured out, hopefully.
I can't imagine that.
Not at all. I was always in a scorebook, I think. Pretty sure. Maybe, but most times though, when you have these scoreboards where you don't, like, most people don't have the scoreboards like that where you can keep track of the score right next to the scoreboard. So that's probably where they have any type of difficulty. A good hustle by Tanisha Scott, stopping that Missouri break. And Lawrence breaks up the fast break by Minnesota.
Well, those second and third opportunities that the Black Ice were getting early on, they're not getting those now with that 2-3 zone that the Archangels are into.
Definitely seems like it's a problem posed for Minnesota. I mean, but if they keep shooting like that, that's going to bring Missouri out of that 2-3 zone.
Yep.
And I think that's what they're looking to do. As Scott hits that
three-point shooting is the quickest way I know of breaking up a 2-3 zone.
I'd assume if they hit one more of those, the coach will have to make some changes. And now Minnesota's picking up their defense.
Lawrence was getting harassed out there at the top of the key by Brianna Sally. And the Archangels take a quick timeout here to discuss things. Still a 20-15 game here, Tia.
Right.
Pretty close. I think if you're the Archangels, you have to feel pretty good about where you're at right now.
Right.
You know, considering the start that they had. Quite the drum line here that the Patrick Henry High School band has, don't they?
Oh, I can barely hear you, so I think that's a good thing in the drum line business.
Ooh.
Oh, Gross-Nickel, that was a nice little floater. Scoreboard issues.
Well, good job at Gross-Nickel getting that off.
Definitely right before the shot clock went down.
A little half-court pressure here by the Archangels.
Oh. And there you have it in the first
violation.
quarter.
Lawrence again having a little trouble getting that ball rolling, getting the offense set up.
On the break, definitely.
So here we are at the end of the first quarter. Black Ice up 20-17. What are your impressions so far, do you think, Tia?
So far, I noticed early on that Minnesota was trying to establish an inside game. They've been doing a 3-out, 2-in from the beginning. And for the first 2 or 3 possessions, it worked. And Missouri caught on to that really quickly, and they upped the pressure a little bit. They went into a 2-3 zone, put Gross-Nickel in the middle, so it's hard for Minnesota supposed to get anything going as much. And the only reason why Minnesota is able to stay in this game is because of their 3-point shooting.
My impression so far in this first half, I thought the Archangels did a good job when they were, when they were down by 5 points early on. I thought it was possible that they might be in a little trouble, but they battled back, and I think that 2-3 zone they got in really changed the complexion of things for them. The Black Eyes were getting second and third opportunities, but then when they got into that 2-3 zone, that really changed things, I thought.
So it'll be interesting to kind of see what each team both employ as they come back in the second quarter. I imagine the Archangels will stay in the 2-3 zone, at least until Minnesota hits a couple more threes. And if they can hold them from shooting those threes, I imagine that Missouri will stay in that 2-3 zone. But at the end of the first quarter, we also saw that Minnesota was picking up the pressure on defense as well. So,
yeah, I see Ashley Ellis smiling back in now for the Black Ice.
Hopefully they can get her going, or get things going through her.
When you have two big bodies down like her and Jillian Burke-Letch, those are big helps when you have to battle to go up against a 2-3 zone like they're doing right now. Ooh, I thought Sally might have gotten away with one there.
Oh, yeah. Ellis Milan is definitely working down there in the post as well. She's begging for it. And a quick turnover by Missouri turns to Minnesota's 2 points. So we got to take care of the ball here.
Yep. Nice finish here by Jillian Burke-Letch down low.
Great D by Minnesota. Yerke Letch. Pretty much the guard ran into a brick wall.
Well, they are going to have a jump ball here, okay. Some of these internationals I'm not quite familiar with.
Right. Yerke Letch wins the tip. Sally on the break.
Oh!
Finishes with the 2. That was a nice move. Nice little finger roll we had there. And Missouri comes right back with the 3. That's how Missouri's been able to stay within this game. Every time Minnesota has done something, Missouri's had a quick answer almost every single time.
More clock problems apparently here. That's certainly been a part of this contest so far anyway.
I'd be surprised at this point if we didn't have clock issues.
Well, that nice little 7-point cushion, the largest lead that the Black Ice had so far in this contest, suddenly is whittled back down to a much more manageable 4 points here now for the Archangels. So let's see what they can do here on defense and possibly get a stop. And certainly when you get a break in the action like this, it gives everybody a chance to catch their breath a little bit.
Of course.
On a human night
no timeouts
such as
needed.
this. Oh.
Great move.
Yeah, great move by Jillian Burke-Letch. She's so strong down low.
The reason why she was able to make that basket, though, is because she got position early on, and Missouri couldn't do anything with it after that point. And now Minnesota's picked up a rebound. Sally loses the ball. 1-on-1. Missouri comes up just short.
Alexis Minner taking that in. I think she was looking for the foul on that and didn't get it.
That was great defense by Tanisha Scott, though, to just make sure she keeps her hands up and go straight up with that one.
Let's go Ice. Let's go Ice. Let's go Ice.
Now we have a foul on Gross-Nickel down in the post, so Minnesota's going back to what they were doing at the beginning of the game, trying to get it into the post, and it looks like Bjorky Lech has established herself down in the paint.
Yeah. Here in the last couple of minutes, anyway, Bjorky Lech has been the go-to gal for the Black Ice.
Bjorky Lech is able to hit on 1 of 2 free throws. And we have a nice little short jumper.
I don't see her number on there. Wow, there's Bjorky Lech again.
Bjorky Lech is definitely starting to get herself going. She's made the last 5 points for the Black Ice here.
Blocking foul that time on Ty Smith. Too high on that inbounds pass.
That seemed to happen to Minnesota quite a bit here. They get a quick steal and then turn the ball right back over. They're able to convert on some of those fast breaks. This lead could be even bigger than just a 7-point lead that we have right now at 29-22. Sally pulls up for a 3 and misses.
Ashley Ellis-Mallon have a little trouble finding the range from the perimeter here so far.
Definitely. I just think she needs the ball in her hands a little bit more.
Yeah.
She saw that she was open and she's just trying to get herself going a little bit. Great kick out by Ellis-Mallon. And Sally with a nice crossover with the finish.
Sure was.
That was a great move.
Now the lead up to 9 for the Black Ice. And another turnover.
And Minnesota with a 3-0 break. Scott lays it in for the easy 2.
And just like that, timeout time for the Archangels. They're down 11.
And with that 11-point lead, now the crowd is starting to get into it a little bit.
And, you know, I think you look here in the last few minutes, now that they have a double-digit lead, they've been able to take advantage of the turnovers that the Archangels have committed, getting some free buckets off of that. And that's something that plays into their favor. They can get into transition.
And part of that is due to Ellis-Mallon. She's been getting the ball off the glass pretty quickly and looking up the floor as quickly as possible.
Yep.
And then as far as in the half-court set, you have Bjorky Lech, who's hit. She's 2 of 2, and then she went to the foul line and made 1 out of 2. So she's established herself a little bit, and that's why Minnesota has this lead here.
And now I want to see what defensive adjustments that the Archangels make here. 6 minutes, just a little under 6 minutes here left in this first half.
I imagine these next few minutes are going to be a little quicker. We have a small lineup put in by the Black Ice. We see Kearney for the first time, who played at Concordia St. Paul. And this is a name that I'm familiar with. Now we have a foul committed by Tippett Wilson, sending Missouri to the line for 2.
Raina Boyd going to the line. I think that's exactly what the Missouri Archangels need to do, to get inside without having to rely, in a panic situation from shooting from the perimeter. Get inside to see if they can draw the foul.
Trying to establish something. But in order for that to work, they have to hit free throws.
Yeah.
And so Boyd misses the first, and let's see if she can put this one in. And she's able to put that one in. So let's see if Missouri can get something going. Got to get back on defense first. Last 3 possessions Minnesota's had, they've been pushing the ball, just straight one pass up the court, looking for a layup.
And what do we have here? Oh, Mallory Marshall, dangerous lob pass down low. I don't know how they were able to control that. And another turnover.
Great hustle by both teams on that play.
Nice job by Annika Whiting finishing down low.
And that started with Minnesota moving the ball.
And suddenly the turnover bugaboo has really reared its ugly head for the Archangels.
Wow.
And the Black Ice are taking full advantage of it.
They're being really aggressive down low. That's how they're able to get these rebounds. Now it looks as Missouri can stop some of the bleeding by getting to the foul line.
Raina Boyd, who just went to the line a little earlier for the Archangels, has got to make a difference here. Now down 14 at 37 to 23 with 4:08 left in this first half. I don't know if you've noticed this or not, T, but the rims here at Patrick Henry High School look to be a little loose. I mean, would you be in agreement with that?
Definitely. It seems as if a lot of guys have been in here throwing it down.
Some rims seem to be a lot tighter than others,
right.
But these are definitely what you would call flexible.
Turnover committed by Minnesota.
Good job by Mallory Marshall, snaring that loose ball off the turnover and getting down and getting a chance here again for the Archangels at the free throw line, where they haven't been too successful lately. Oh, now wait a minute. Now maybe this is not a shooting foul. I thought it was.
Well, it looks like they will get to the
They
foul
will.
line.
Now they change their minds. Okay.
1-1 it looks like. So the foul was on the floor, but since it was 1-1, now they're at the line.
They had me fooled twice.
Fool me once,
something
shame
like
on you.
that.
Fool me twice, shame on me.
Yeah.
Marshall's able to hit the front end of the 1-1.
I think the goal now for the Archangels has to be here in these last 4 minutes to try and get the deficit back to within single digits.
And they're looking to do that. It seems that they've went into a little bit of a press here. And I imagine we'll see that for the rest of the half. Whoa.
Good job by Ty Smith getting in there and taking a tumble in the process. Okay, all right.
Minnesota's showing a press of their own, and it seems to work. They just got a turnover, and now they have the ball. Oh.
Ooh. Lech has her shot blocked. Wow. I thought maybe she might have gotten away with one there.
She definitely got away with that one. Missouri coach is a little upset about that, but Missouri has to keep playing. They're now down by 16, so something has to, and there we have it right there. We have a short jumper hit by Nikki Lawrence.
That was Nikki Lawrence, who was her high scorer a week ago. And another turnover. Oh my goodness. Nice offensive rebound by Keila Dampier on that one. Gets a chance now to go to the line as well.
What Missouri needs to look to do, and it seems as if they're doing it, is get to the basket. They're in the bonus now.
Yeah.
But once they get to the foul line, now they have to hit their free throws, and they can definitely get back into this game.
Here we go again.
Whoa.
Well, it's one thing to get a transition opportunity, but the thing of it is you got to be able to finish. And the Archangels have not done a very good job here in the latter stages of this first half of finishing on those transition opportunities.
And you're right. They just had a 2-on-0 break.
Yeah.
And weren't able to convert.
Yep.
Wild pass that went out of bounds, and now it's Minnesota's ball. Missed opportunity.
Whoop.
Grossnickel with 2 offensive rebounds and finally connects on the second one.
Now you see why she had those 12 rebounds from a weekend ago.
Ella smiling with a nice little bunny right at the hash mark.
There again.
And there you have it, Grossnickel with another 2 off of an offensive rebound. The Black Guys need to get a body on her.
Sally tried to take it right down the gut and got tied up. Well, the Archangels, you know, despite the plethora of turnovers that they've had here in this first half, but able to make a little dent in that deficit, but still down double digits here with 1:25 left.
They've cut the lead down from 16 to 11.
Yeah, I think that's something. I still think with a $1.25 left, they still have a chance to get it down to single digits, which is what I think they want to do here before we go into halftime. But at the same time, they've got to find a way to cut down on those turnovers.
Right, and that starts with the fast break opportunities that they've had and that they've missed. It's been about 2 or 3 that they've had, and they haven't been able to convert it on. You had a charge at one point. You just had a bad pass at the other. And so if they can convert on those and make a few more free throws, we're back in this ball game.
Yep. The other encouraging sign, I think, for the Archangels is the emergence of Grosno here in the last couple minutes on the offensive rebounding front.
Right. Oh. Alex Nagel with a great pass, but
nice pass by Ashley Ellis-Malin to Annika Whiting. She just couldn't control the ball.
Right. And then
resulted in another turnover.
Let's go, Ice. Let's go, Ice. Let's go, Ice.
Look at that.
Alex again with the offensive rebound.
And just like that, back into single digits. And with a defensive rebound there.
And now we have a foul committed by Tanisha Scott. She doesn't agree with that call, it looks like.
So all of a sudden, the nice little 16-point cushion the Black Ice were enjoying has now been sliced to 9 points.
Well, we all know that basketball is a game of runs. And
absolutely.
Cross-nickel down in the paint, working the way that she is, it's clear to see why Missouri is back in this game.
Yep. Maya Wesley, 5'8" guard out of Harris Stowe University. Gets them both. Now it's down to 7, so let's see what happens here in the last 40 seconds.
Minnesota definitely has to take care of the ball in these last 30 seconds. You don't want Missouri getting a couple of baskets to put them very close within this game, getting to within 2-3 points going into the half.
That's a foul, that foul is on Nikki Lawrence. I think if you're the Archangels, that's a foul you don't want to commit. They get away with it, though, and another cross-nickel rebound. Wow.
And Wesley takes it all the way to the basket. Debatable call down low, but we have a foul on the Black Ice, and Wesley's going to the line.
I'll be honest, I thought that call was going to go the other way.
Sometimes with those types of calls, I just kind of wait to see what they're going to call because you never really know how they're going to go.
It must be hell as a player to, in those nanoseconds, to wonder what they're going to call when that kind of thing happens.
In all honesty, as a player, when that happens, you know it's a charge.
Yeah.
And sometimes you kind of feel it, but you're hoping that the ref is against what you're thinking.
Well, look at that. Down to 5 points now. 25 seconds left.
That was quick. And Minnesota gets a wide open layup and puts that lead right back up to 7.
Oh.
Beautiful pass by Wesley. And Dampier puts that one in for an N1, and now she has an opportunity to create a three-point play.
And that was a pass that was made in considerable traffic as well.
Definitely. it seems as if Wesley is giving them a little bit of energy off the bench.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Since she's been in, she's hit 2 free throws, nice pass down low to go with, and she's pushing the tempo.
With just 0.6 seconds left, it's a 4-point game.
And there's the end of the first half.
So 45-41 here at the half. I'll be honest with you, Tia. I mean, when they were down 16, you had to think that they were playing right into the hands of the Black Ice and that the Black Ice had full control of this thing. But now they got a late run, and all of a sudden it's cut down to a 4-point lead. I think if you're the Missouri Archangels, you have to feel very good about where you're at right now.
Right. And the Archangels were down by a lot, but when you have Grossnickel working down there in the paint, as I said before, that helps a lot.
Now, she made a big difference here coming down the stretch of this first half, and as I pointed out early, at the top of this contest, she could replicate what she did a weekend ago. They certainly got a shot, and she's proving why that they can be right in the thick of things in this one.
Correct.
And I'm here with Nikki Lawrence, who was a member of this Missouri Archangels team a year ago, and here she is ready for another season. So what brought you back to this team?
I mean, I know last year it wasn't a good game, so this year we're going to win, sure.
Well, that's a good attitude to have, I suppose. And speaking of, this is your second game of the year. You had a tough loss to Illinois to start the season. Now you make a visit up here. So what would you make of this group of women that you've got?
Say that again?
What would you make of this group of women that you have?
What do you mean?
What do you mean, strengths, weaknesses, how are they getting along?
We're doing fine. We just need to box out, get rebounds. We'll be cool after that.
And what inspired you to continue playing the sport after you finished up with college and here you are continuing this level? What brings you back to basketball?
I love the game of basketball.
How did you get involved?
Harris Stowe.
I guess I'll put it this way: How did you become attached to the sport? What got you involved in the sport?
Well, when I was like 5, my uncle used to always take me to the park to play ball, so that's why.
Outdoor parks, I presume, or?
Yeah.
And how did that park play? Going out and playing in the park. How did that develop your passion for basketball?
It developed me a lot because I played against a lot of guys, so that made me better.
And what is that experience like? Is that something we see at the higher levels? A lot of women's teams go up against men's scout teams, but you've been doing that from an early age. So how do you think that helped you with the sport?
Well, it helped me a lot as far as like being physical and stuff like that. So I feel like playing against a female is less competitive than playing with a guy. So
what are you doing here?
I mean, I can't play with guys, so I mean, that's why I'm here.
Well, I'm sure there's a league or two that could accept you.
No, I doubt it.
So talk about your uncle and his involvement. I guess what was that bond like between you two, since he was the one who brought you out and will go up for those park games, and that fostered this commitment you have now?
I mean, like I said, I really didn't know too much about basketball at the time, but I was a tomboy, so my uncle figured I would rather play basketball than any other sport, so he took me to the playground, and all we did was play ball. So.
Did you have any role models later on in the sport of basketball once you?
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan, and what stood up with him for you?
Well, I'm from Chicago, and he's from Chicago, so that's what it is.
Technically, he's from North Carolina.
I mean, well, he played in Chicago.
But yeah, I'm sure you watched had a few moments. The '98 finals, the flu game. The 63 points against Boston years ago.
Yep, I remember all that.
So when did you? Did you stick around in Chicago, or are you now in St. Louis? Or
I'm in St. Louis now. I moved down to St. Louis 2010 to go to Harris Stowe, and then after Harris Stowe, I started playing with the semi-pro team.
And talk about your experience at Harris Stowe. It's not perhaps the most prominent school out there, but that's where you were able to continue playing in college. And how did that? What was that experience like, knowing that you could parlay your talents to that level?
I mean, honestly, I wasn't thinking about going to Harris Stowe, but I mean, a friend of mine went to Harris Stowe, so I just gave it a try. So I went there too.
And what else are you looking to do? Because a lot of these women are working, they have regular jobs, or they're involved in other things. So maybe what are some goals you have as you continue your career path?
I don't know. I just love the game of basketball. So, I mean, that's it.
So maybe a basketball-related job when you can't play anymore?
Something.
So coaching, is that a passion of yours? Or?
Sort of. Not really. I'm not really an outspoken person. So, I mean, if it keep me in the game of basketball, then I'll do it.
I'm sure your teammates, maybe your coaches, can find some folks who could get your speaking skills up to speed.
Yeah, hopefully.
And so what are you looking forward to? You mentioned hoping to win today, but what are you looking forward to for this 2015 season with the Archangels?
We just need to box out, get rebounds. I mean, our offense is cool. Other than that, we just need to box out and get rebounds.
Well, Nikki, a very great conversation with you. Good luck this season, and maybe we'll see you in the playoffs down the road.
All right, thank you.
Nikki Lawrence of the Missouri Archangels.
We have 7 people who are returning back, a couple new people, but just being a cohesive team and just staying together and being able to bring a championship back here to Minnesota is what I'm looking forward to the most.
Taylor Hill's sister that played on my high school team, everyone knows her. She actually plays on the team, so I know her, so I got a chance to know about it through her, which was a good opportunity.
Ashley Ellis Mylan was my coach at Concordia, and she kind of mentioned it to me, and I wanted to keep playing in the summer, so it was a good option for me.
Everyone thinks after college you're done playing basketball, and I'm like, wow, you know, you get to continue to play basketball after college, and it's a good opportunity to even go overseas if you like.
My dad coached high school when I was younger, and so we just kind of always grew up going to games, going to practices, doing that kind of stuff, so it was just kind of something we picked up, and it was like, hey, I really like this.
Being in college, it was definitely fun, but I was there and I had to get an education out of it. But now it's like I'm just playing for fun, and you know, I don't have to do anything behind it.
I just love playing basketball. You know, my dad and my mom coached me all growing up, and I've just always had a love for the game, and I wasn't ready to be done.
I mean, I am playing for fun, I do say that, but I am definitely a competitor. I do plan to play 100%, go to championship, and win this. The ability that I have is passing, so I do like to drive a lot. I get past them, and after that, I can't really go up for a shot, so I do pass and kick out. I guess that's a big advantage for me and my teammates.
I want to be a physician's assistant, so hopefully when I'm done playing basketball, I'll get accepted into a school and then go out there and do that. I just find the human body so fascinating and how it all works as a system, and you know, being an athlete, that kind of enhances it. You know, you can't look at one thing and say, well, my knee hurts, so I'm going to ice my knee. You know, you kind of have to figure out like what else is going on.
I want to work with juveniles. So right now, I actually got a job as a behavior service provider in Iowa, so I'll stay there. And one of my future goals is to be a juvenile probation officer, which I did an internship as one last spring, so it was good, and that's what I'm hoping to get out of it. There's no such thing as a bad kid, I think. You know, there's a lot of kids that are in certain situations that cause them to do stupid things, you know, and I just like to help them, talk to them, be kind of a mentor, you know, so I just think if they know that someone's out there that cares about them, that wants to lead them in the right direction, that they'll do that, you know.
All right, what about a minute on the way in halftime? We're about to start the second half here in a little bit. And so what are you looking forward to seeing in the second half?
Well, first off, Tia, I think if you're Minnesota Black Ice head coach Melissa Young, you've got to be a little upset with how you saw that 16-point advantage whittled down to a scant 4 points in just a matter of minutes here coming down the stretch of that first half. And really the basic reason for it was the plethora of turnovers, some of them very careless turnovers. And also, I think that the Black Ice did not do a very good job on getting a body on the on Grosnickel. And that's something that's going to have to change here in this first half. Number one, you've got to cut down on the turnovers. You've got to take better care of the ball. And, you know, even if they get back into that 2-3 zone, I'd like to see the Black Ice be a little more patient on offense. Just, even, I know you're dealing with a short shot clock, but still you got to, if they can be a little bit more patient with that ball, I think that will cut down on the turnovers.
They can definitely get back to when they had Bjerke Lech establish herself in the post early on, and so if they can get back to that, I think that'll slow things down a little bit for the Black Ice.
And we saw the Black Ice going to Jillian Bjerke Lech there in that second period, and that really made a difference for them. That was one of the reasons they were able to get that lead up to a 16-point advantage.
Exactly.
And I think they have to have the focus on her in the second half.
I completely agree. So the keys for the Black Ice are limit turnovers and getting the ball back into the post. And so for the Archangels, we have Lawrence bringing the ball down the court. She hands it off. Passes to Wesley for a wide open three. She can't connect. But the Archangels start off early with an offensive rebound and get another second chance three that they can't connect on.
One of those careless turnovers
that we were talking about earlier, definitely. And now that goes to Missouri getting a foul down at the other end, going to the line. So Sally, it was the right idea, but maybe she could just get a jump stop in there and give a nice, good pass out to the three-point line. But we have Lawrence at the line shooting two.
And as we mentioned, she had those 17 points a week ago, so she can get a hot hand here in the second half. That's going to play awfully big here for the Archangels.
Especially since it's only a four-point lead now.
Yeah.
Lawrence can't connect on the first. Can't connect on the second either. And we've noticed that's been the problem for the Missouri team early on. They haven't been able to connect on their free throws.
If you get to that charity stripe, you certainly have to make the most of it.
We have Sally with the ball. Passes to Milan down in the post. And Milan with a nice turnaround jumper.
Nice little turnaround jumper there by Ashley Ellis Milan. I can still remember her well from her St. Paul Central days.
Oh, yeah. And now she gets a little bit in on the defensive end and gets a block for Minnesota. We have Scott bringing the ball down the court. No-look pass down in the post. And there's another turnover. We have a 3-second violation down in the post. So that's 2 turnovers early on for the Black Ice that could have been avoided. Now we have Wesley. Wesley was definitely brought a lot of energy in the second half, and as you can see, that paid off for her getting the start in this. I mean, she had the energy in the first half, and that paid off for her getting the energy start in the second half.
And then you can bet if those turnovers continue for the Black Ice that Melissa Young will be reaching for the box of Sandtech here.
Definitely. Wesley drives to the basket and gets stuffed.
For Coach, turnovers can be the biggest cause of heartburn.
And if I'm not mistaken, Bjerke Lech was the one that came away with that block down low. So we have another jump ball. Bjerke Lech wins that one pretty easily, and Tanisha Scott's on the break, one-on-one, can't connect. Sally tried to tip that one back in, but
she almost got it too.
One-handed is that. Wesley turns the ball over, and now we have Kasheen Alexander with the easy lay-in.
Lead back up to 8 now for the Black Ice.
So Missouri's looking to do a 4-cross. Get to the basket, which they do. Dampier takes it straight to the basket against Bjerke Lech for the easy 2.
Dampier with that one.
Now we have another careless turnover. Sally turns the ball over with a no-look pass. Bjerke Lech just wasn't ready for it. Wesley drives to the basket again. Comes up short.
And Bjerke Lech did a good job not letting that ball get swiped away.
Right. Kashina Alexander tries to drive into the basket, but it ends up in another turnover and an easy lay-in for Lawrence down at the other end for the Archangels.
Nikki Lawrence now starting to pad to her totals from a weekend ago.
I kind of get an idea of how she was able to do that now.
Yeah.
Offensive rebound by Bjerke Lech, but comes up short on the putback.
Yep.
And we have a charge. Kashina Alexander, one-on-one, set her feet, and she got the call that she wanted.
Good job by the former Hawkeye holding her ground.
You're happy about that one, I bet.
Oh, of course.
And Tanisha Scott going to continue to run the floor for the Black Eyes here. Shoots a long three, can't connect. And Alexander once again on the boards. That was her bread and butter in the first half, and she's starting to continue to do that.
Well, great job by Kashina Alexander there, and just a ton of traffic, grabbing that rebound and getting up a shot. How she did that, I'll never know.
She seems to be stronger than most of the other players. Can't connect on the first. In the first half, I noticed a lot that she would just like toss them around, grab the rebound, gather her feet, and go up.
Well, you can tell that she's very strong in the upper body.
And she can't connect on the second one, but Ellis Mylan's able to get the offensive board. Kashina Alexander skips it over to Sally. Sally drop, and another careless turnover by the Black Eyes. But they get it right back.
Yeah. Wow.
And the Black Eyes pass it up the floor for an easy lay-in. Now we have 51-45. The Black Eyes are up by 6.
It was funny because back here, Brittany Cook of the Archangels seemed to be in prime position to make an interception, but she had her back to the ball and never saw it.
Right. And that resulted in an easy bucket for the Black Eyes. And so although we haven't seen Missouri take the lead once, they have been cutting the lead very close. As they got it at 4 before the half. Now it's only 6. I imagine they're going to try to get Grosnick to get started a little bit.
She's back on the floor now.
Lawrence bringing the ball up for the Archangels. And the Black Eyes just harass her out on the wing.
That's exactly what they do. Double team.
Now we have a jump ball. Let's see who it's between. I know it's Lawrence, but
I believe that was Raina Boyd, number 20.
Boyd.
She was on a hornet's nest on that one.
She really had nowhere to go.
No.
And Sally wins the tip. Tanisha Scott had a little bit of a spillover, but she's able to gain her feet.
Great job by Tanisha Scott on that, not turning the ball over.
Another offensive rebound by the Black Eyes. Can't connect. Whoa. And we have a little bit of a collision down on the baseline.
Especially right there in no man's land where there's not a lot of distance between the wall and the baseline.
Good to see both players get up. And so they look to get the ball to Grosnickel, but she travels early on.
I think she knew she took an extra step. She's not complaining.
She had the right idea, but she was just a little far from the basket.
She got forced to her left on that one, and I don't think that's her natural step.
And so the score still stands at 51-45. 6-point lead by the Black Ice. Tanisha Scott gives it to Sally in the corner, and she skips it right back to her. Little flare screen up at the top of the key. And now we have another turnover by the Black Ice, which leads to a foul. And so what we talked about early on, they have to take care of the ball.
And you know, it's not like the Black Ice have not had chances to open up a little bit of a lead here. They're up 6, but when you look at it, you think they should be up more.
Definitely.
Grossknuckle gets the roll on that. Back to a 4-point game again.
And the Archangels wasted no time in getting it to her. Straight from the inbound, they gave it right to her, and she did what she needed to do.
A very deft touch with that right hand.
Alexander sets the screen for Scott at the top of the key. Sally passes to Mylan, down in the post. Alexander goes up for 2, gets her own rebound once again, and now she's back at the foul line.
And you know, Kashina Alexander, her height is not listed on the roster that I have, but she's not the tallest person out there, but she's so strong, she can contest for that rebound and oftentimes get it, as she did there. 5'9".
5'9". That's not very tall at all. That's probably 5'9", I would assume, with basketball shoes.
No.
So Alexander, we have a couple more substitutions.
Number 30 for the Archangels is back in, and unfortunately I don't have her number on here.
Alexander is able to connect on her second free throw. Black Ice are putting on the pressure a little bit with the full court man-to-man press. Thirty puts up a long shot and can't connect.
I think they could have looked for a better shot on that one, Tia.
I mean, Grossknuckle just hit a 2 on the last possession, so I would have looked to go back to her.
Well, there again, we saw another missed opportunity by the Black Ice to pad that lead a little bit.
And now we have Ty Smith in the game, who forces a turnover as soon as she gets in. And gets an assist to add to that.
Job by Danielle Ellison on that.
Grossknuckle at the top of the key with the ball. And
Alexis, I was just going to say, Alexis Minner put up a tough shot, and she just didn't get the roll on that.
And Ty Smith comes away with the rebound. She just got in the game, and like, she's playing exactly how she used to play during her South days, from what I saw, all over the place, picking up the defensive pressure. And so I'm a little excited about this, to kind of see what she can bring to the plate. And so Ty Smith is going to run the floor for them, while Tanisha Scott is getting a little bit of a breather. And we have a jump ball. Looks as if it's Ty Smith and Raina Boyd, it looks like.
Yeah, I think so.
Wonder who's going to win this one.
Renisha Harris. Woo. That makes him feel a little better. She's actually shorter than I am. Although arguably quicker.
Definitely. She's very quick. And so they had a little bit of a mix-up the jump ball is actually going to be between Ty Smith.
Okay, all right.
Marshall.
Go.
She actually gets a hand on the ball.
Oh, wow.
Great defense, but Marshall's just too big for her.
She's
and
very
finishes
quick.
with the 2.
And she took that ball into the lane with authority.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Threw a little extra hop there, and she got caught.
I don't think she saw Smith as she turned around. And so the score is a 6-point lead. Black guys 55-49.
Well, I think she had a little something different in mind, and then she changed her mind at the last second and did it.
Mm-hmm.
When you try to think when you're doing something, that often makes us take an extra step.
Right. And Missouri's on the break. They slow it down. Grosnick was begging for it, and she can't connect on the 3. Now we have a foul called down low.
Well, good job by Raina Boyd snaring that offensive rebound.
Mm-hmm. That foul's going to go on Tempest Wilson of the Black Eyes. And Boyd is at the free throw line for 2. She's able to hit the first one.
And Boyd, who played her college ball at Fontbonne University.
And she's able to hit both. And so now we have a 4-point lead with the Black Eyes standing at 55-51. Oh.
Well, a little too much fancy ball handling leads to yet another Black Ice turnover.
I'm surprised she made it that far.
Yeah.
And so now we have Marshall with the ball at the top of the key for the Archangels.
Ooh.
Wow.
Now that was a major collision.
Definitely. And Kasheen Alexander is at the end of that and got called for the blocking foul. I don't know what you think, but I have to disagree with that call.
Well, Mallory Marshall really took that ball in with authority again.
Put her head down and just took it straight to her. But it worked for her. She's at the line for 2.
I bet you like doing that as a point guard sometimes.
Sometimes you have to. She connects on the first. I mean, especially being a smaller guard, you have to go in there strong. Because there's always bigger girls in there, and they're not going to take it easy on you.
Right.
So you got to handle the ball and just take it in there. And Marshall has a chance to cut this lead to 2 with this free throw here. And she does. Now we have a 2-point ball game.
The Archangels have done a pretty good job. Despite not always clicking offensively, they've been able to hang around.
Mm-hmm. And I can't help but think most of that's because of the Black Ice's turnovers. And so Ty Smith gets into the lane but can't connect on the lay-in. And Bjerke Lech gets the offensive rebound and can't put it back.
Well, you know, you and I both agreed here at the top of the second half that Black Ice, watching that roll.
And Ty Smith's all over the place. She gets in there. She's only 5'2", but she just pulled a rebound down amongst the trees. So thought about that 3 there.
But we were talking at the top of the second half, and we both felt that the Black Ice have to get the ball. They have to make an effort to get the ball inside to Jillian Bjerke Lech.
Correct.
And they've been seeing, for some reason, they have not been doing that. They've seemed to have got away from that, and I think they have to go back to that somehow, don't you think?
I definitely think so. And it starts like we talked about with their turnovers. And if they can limit those and just run through their offense, go back to the 3-out-2 win that they were doing early on with Bjerke Lech on one block and Ashley Ellis Milan on the other.
Yep.
I think they can get something going with that. But now we have a break in the action with the timeout called.
On a humid night like this, when you're just a little thick, a little hot, it's always a welcome relief.
And we're back underway. We have Ty Smith bringing the ball up the court.
And the Archangel still in that 2-3 zone.
And Tanisha Scott's able to stop the bleeding for the Black Ice and hit a three. I think that was very crucial for the Black Ice. The Black Guys are starting to pick up the defensive pressure as well.
You can tell that they've upped the intensity just a little bit here.
Definitely. And I think the Archangels they lucked themselves out with that basket.
Yeah. And another turnover.
And the Archangels are able to hit another two. And now it's a 4-point lead by the Black Guys, 61-57.
Going for one last shot here for the end of the third period.
Three by Tanisha Scott. Oh!
Well, I think that in a nutshell pretty much sums up this third period for the Black Ice. A lot of missed opportunities, and that was one right there.
I mean, you wouldn't think that would happen often in a basketball game, but that actually happens more often than you think. And so I'm wondering who's going to be able to jump up there and get that ball.
Well, somebody has to. I know it sure won't be me.
It won't be me either. Everyone's just kind of looking around. But we kind of need the ball.
Yeah.
To start play.
But again, even with that 2-3 zone, somehow I think the Black Ice have to make an effort to get the ball, work the ball into Jillian Bjerke Lech. Even if just drawing fouls, that's fine. In a close game like this, I think that's what you want to do.
Or they can even go back to what they did at the beginning with the in-and-out game.
Yeah.
And that's how they got the wide open threes in the beginning. And if they're not hitting, get to the basket for the dump off. So we're going to have a jump ball between Bjerke Lech and Gross Nickel. I'm sorry, that was Sally. She got up on that one.
She's quite the athlete.
This is the final quarter. Let's hear it for the Minnesota Black Ice.
And so it looks like they've had a bit of a score change because we end the third quarter now.
Yeah.
The score's 58-57. So I don't know if it was a mistake down at the score table.
It could have been. I don't know.
Hopefully they'll get that figured out because now it's a completely different ball game. It's a 1-point lead as opposed to a 4-point lead. And so we'll see how the Black Ice are able to handle that as they come back out.
It's kind of hard to talk over that fabulous Patrick Henry drum line. one thing, Tia, I think if you're Black Ice head coach Melissa Young, the one thing I think you have to be fearful of, in my humble opinion, is if the Archangels get a lot of transition opportunities. We've seen them have some opportunities in transition. They haven't always been able to finish, but with their quickness and athletic ability, that's something that could be very troublesome for the Black Ice, I think.
Definitely, and that's why the Black Ice has to take care of the ball.
And right there, here we go.
Exactly what you were just saying. And so now the Archangels take their first lead of the game, 59-58. And we have to see how the Black Ice have to respond. At some point, they have to value the ball a little bit more and try to fill the basket. And they're going to keep Marshall at the point guard here for the fourth quarter.
And Grosnick asked for rebounding total with that one back there. And to her point total as well.
Wow. Black Ice down by 3.
Now, if you're the Black Ice, I don't think you want to get into panic mode just yet.
Right. Plenty of time left. And Lawrence takes it straight to the bucket and gets hammered by Tanisha Scott on the fast break.
Yeah.
Yet another fast break for the Archangels. So Nikki Lawrence connects on the first free throw. And I imagine she's having a game much like the game she had the first game.
Exactly.
Can't connect on the second. But the Archangels now hold a 4-point lead over the Black Ice. Tempest Wilson misses everything on that jumper.
Wow.
Wow.
That was my reaction exactly. I thought she was just going for the ball, which...
Thought she had her hands locked around that one.
Yeah, I did too.
But the refs saw differently as they call a foul on Bjerke Lech.
And the bad breaks continue to pile up for the Black Ice here.
Nice block by Tempest Wilson.
Yeah.
Tanisha Scott brings the ball up the floor. Slow things down a little bit for the Black Ice. But once again, have to take care of the ball. That's just sloppy. They needed that one.
Sally just has not been able to find the range from the perimeter here tonight.
I still think it's important for her to keep shooting, though. She
Yeah.
has the open looks. And Groswinkle just throws that one up there and nearly makes it. And I don't think Ellis Milan realized that she had a wide open lay-in. Bjerke Lech with the offensive putback. Now she gets fouled. That definitely should have been an easy 2 for the Black Guys. Ellis Milan had a offensive rebound and didn't even realize that her player had fallen to the ground.
Kayla Dampier was a little slow getting up on that one. Looks like she's going to go to the bench for a breather. We have a timeout as well. Well, anyway, Tia, here you go with 7:19 left, down 4. And Jillian Bjerke-Lech a chance to cut into that deficit here a little bit. Again, still a lot of time left, as you mentioned. But at the same time, I think coming down the stretch here, this is where you gotta have to start making the most of your opportunities.
Definitely. I think now is the time, rather than later, for the Black Eyes to make their moves. And like we've been preaching for the entire game, to get back inside like they did early on with Bjerke-Lech and Ellis Mylan, as Bjerke-Lech puts that free throw in on the front end of the 2 free throws. Comes up short on the second. The ball's volleyed around. Missouri goes on a fast break, and Bjerke-Lech breaks that up.
Yeah, wow. She walked with it. Now, I don't know about that call. I didn't think that she had possession. Melissa Young-Cruzy apparently agrees with me.
I thought she had took one dribble and got it out of there before she had took her extra step. But the Archangels have it down low. Lawrence drives to the basket, puts up a floater, doesn't connect. And Tanisha Scott comes up with the rebound. So the Black Eyes they're pushing the ball here. Let's see if Sally can hit this one.
And here we go again.
Fast break.
Oh my goodness.
Goes for the circus shot, but can't connect. And Gross-Nickel
finishes.
That play couldn't have happened if Gross-Nickel didn't follow the play, though. And she did. Now she gets an open 2. And so the Black Eyes are down by 3, 59-62. And now we have another turnover by the Black Eyes. But Sally comes down.
Yeah.
And tells her, not in my house.
Well, the Black Eyes definitely dodge a bullet there.
Definitely.
Now down 5. This is where you've got to start getting some stops here, I think.
Stops and get it inside. Ellis Mylan breaks up that play.
And I think not only that, I think this is where you have to start taking some chances defensively as well.
And so they look to pick up the pressure a little bit. Great D by Kasheen Alexander. Once again, Marshall puts her head down, drops her shoulder, and Kasheen Alexander plays that perfectly.
Smart play by Marshall on that one. Again, not the tallest person out there, but she sure is strong and she sure is quick.
Archangels inbound the ball. Black Eyes pick up that rebound. Tempest Wilson looks to push the tempo a little bit. Skips it to Tanisha Scott. Can't connect on the 3. And Bjerke-Lech just throws one up. I think she was looking for the foul on that one.
The Black Eyes retain possession.
Hopefully they can execute this play here and get a nice, easy bucket.
Whoops.
And another turnover by the Black Eyes. And Marshall just
oh my goodness,
beats everyone in a track race, but can't connect. And another turnover by the Black Eyes.
Well, I tell you, all these turnovers are going to make Melissa Young stop by the nearest Walgreens for a bottle of Excedrin PM here.
I can only imagine. And the Black Eyes once again catch a break on that one. Maybe. One thing that I'm noticing that the Black Eyes have not seen yet is on this 2-3 zone, when Ellis Mylan gets the ball down in the post, Bjerke-Lech pins her girl up and has a wide open lane to the bucket. and they haven't been able to connect on that.
My goodness.
And Marshall misses the lay-in. But
wow.
Raina Boyd's there for the putback. Offensive rebound, 2 points, and now she has the free throw to come along with that.
And suddenly things go from bad to worse for the Black Ice here with just under 5 minutes left.
It's just at some point the Black Ice has to realize, I mean, time is ticking, so it doesn't look like they're going to realize it this game, but they have to take care of the ball. And like you said, Melissa, she's going to be talking to them a lot. I can only imagine what they're going to do in practice.
Well, now I think with just under 5 minutes left and down 7 points, this is where you've got to start connecting from downtown. Wow.
And not turn the ball over. But it looks like the Black Ice have caught a break.
For a change.
Definitely. It looks like Bjerke Letch has been fouled, so the ball's going to stay in their possession. They're going to get the ball back. Sally's wide open.
And lost the ball. And she's not happy about it either, and I don't blame her, because she knew she had the open shot and tried to make a move.
She's been having a tough game as well. Defensively, she's been playing pretty good, but as far as turnovers, she has to be nearing the double-digit mark in turnovers. Great hustle by Alexander.
Boy,
can't put that one in.
That seems to be the game in a nutshell for the Black Ice here in the second half. Opportunities, but missed opportunities. And now they see their window slowly closing with just a little over 4 minutes left.
And Missouri, they've been doing a great job. One thing that I've noticed is that they know the Black Ice, they're going to turn the ball over. Every time they've turned the ball over, from what I've seen, they get the ball up quick, and they have two girls running down the court already. It's usually Marshall. It's either Marshall and Boyd or Boyd and Lawrence, and they're sending two every single time, and that's how they continue to get those fast break opportunities. They haven't connected on all of them. Good for the Black Ice, but I've noticed they've been doing it every time.
At the same time, it still made life very difficult for the Black Ice because it really reduces their margin for error.
Not only can they not turn the ball over, but they also have to get back on defense as well.
Exactly.
And so with a little under 4 minutes and 30 seconds to go, we have a 7-point lead by the Archangels, 66-59.
Yep.
Tanisha Scott comes off the screen. Sally takes it against two, dumps it off to Bjerke Letch.
There we go.
And they get an N one. That's what they need. That's exactly what they need right there. And I'm not sure if Sally meant to dump that ball off to Bjerke Letch, but either way, it worked for the Black Ice, and now we have Bjerke Letch at the line to try to make a three-point play.
And a chance now to get that deficit down to 4 points with really a mountain of time left, 4 minutes and 3 seconds.
And that's a little bit more manageable than what it was before. And Bjerke Letch comes up short on that one and then fouls right after. I think she realized once she wrapped her arms around her right away that it was going to be a foul, but it was too late. And so we have Cook at the line, and she connects on the first.
Brittany Cook, the 5'7" guard out of Arcilla College. I'm not sure where that's located.
Well, she hits both free throws, and she puts the Archangels up
Yep.
by 7 once again. Black Ice almost had an offensive rebound, and they catch a break as Missouri throws the ball out of bounds. In football terms, incomplete pass. Scott's gonna bring up the ball. Pulls up for 3. Can't connect. Yerke Lex is really working, but couldn't get that rebound there.
She was really in an awkward position there.
Wow. So Alexander's.
I don't know what happened down there. Hate to see her down. Let's see what happened. Hopefully it's nothing serious. Boy, you hate to see that.
Definitely. She had gotten the rebound and got mobbed.
Yeah.
And she didn't really have
I didn't really see what happened after she lost the ball.
Mm-hmm. And so as we wait to see if Christine Alexander is okay,
Yeah.
what do you think the Black Guys need to do, whether or not it looks like they won't have Christine Alexander down?
Yeah, that's a huge loss if that turns out to be the case.
Especially down by 9. She's
Yeah.
been getting most of the
Yeah.
offensive rebounds,
Yeah.
putbacks. And from what I've seen, she's also been the leader on the floor.
Oh, absolutely. She's getting up. Let's hope nothing serious.
She's able to put a little bit of pressure.
I'm not certain it was a knee or an ankle.
Right.
Maybe we'll have a better idea once she gets on the bench and they apply the ice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks like she's grabbing that right knee. We'll see here. Indeed it is. Boy, you hate to see that. Hopefully nothing more than a sprain.
Right. Seems she was able to put a little pressure on it, so we'll see. But we have Ronisha Harris as her replacement.
Yeah.
Coming into the game. She was able to get to the foul line a little bit early on in the first half, so hopefully she can do a little bit of that here. Scott's going to come off the screen. Tries a no-look pass, but as has been the story of the whole game, the Missouri's just been packing in the paint.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
And another turnover.
Another turnover.
And they're off to the races.
Ooh.
Wow.
It seems like for the key rebounds and for the key loose balls, the Archangels have seemingly been in the right place at the right time for those things.
Almost every single time.
Certainly in the second half anyway.
Mm-hmm. But once again, the Black Ice catch a break. They're only down by 9 with 2 minutes and 51 seconds left. And so now I think is a time where they need a little bit more of a sense of urgency.
Yep.
They don't want bad shots, but they want quality shots. Can't have any more turnovers at this point. And I don't know what happened there, but Sally's at the line.
With 2:51 down by 9 here, she's got to connect.
Hits the first. Hits both. 7-point ball game, 3-possession game. And Wesley misses the jumper. And the Black Ice are finally able to retain possession.
Yep.
But they turn the ball over again. Sally was looking to get the ball to Tanisha Scott, but at the last minute noticed that Felicia Harris is right on the block wide open.
Melissa Young wants a 30-second timeout to discuss things.
Once again, still plenty of time left.
Yeah. It almost seems like the turnovers that have been committed have been a case of where somebody has tried to do a little too much almost. And I think that has to be the frustrating thing, I think, for Melissa Young, where you know where you have opportunities, you should be able to score if somebody's trying to do something too much.
Right. So the Black Ice are going to pick up the pressure a little bit here with the full court press.
Yep.
And Sally reaches in and gets called for a foul. Wesley's going to go to the foul line here.
The Archangels now close to that double bonus.
Wesley's able to connect on the first free throw. She hits both. And with those free throws, now the Archangels are up by 9.
Yeah.
With about 2 minutes left to play.
And Sally finally connects.
That's exactly what I said earlier. She has to keep shooting.
Yeah.
Especially at this point, it's do or die now for the Black Ice. And Sally, obviously she has a touch.
The good news here, Tia, down to a 2-possession game, down 6 points. But again, this is where you cannot afford to trade baskets if you're the Black Ice. You've got to get a stop, and you've got to get a quality look down there.
Yep. This next defensive possession for the Black Ice is really crucial. If they can get a stop and get something easy down low, I think that'll set the tone for these last 2 minutes of play.
Yep. So as you would expect, here comes the full court pressure.
Oh.
Thought Anika Whiting might get a steal there for a second.
Or a turnover, if that.
There you go.
There it is. The Imperial actually saved that play. Because if she didn't get her hands wrapped around that, Sally was wide open for a layup down the court. And now we have Bjerke Lech back in the game.
It's weird, I keep looking for the possession arrow, but it's a jump ball. Like, where's the possession arrow?
And Vonisha Harris is able to get that jump ball, and now a foul is committed by the Archangels. And the Black Ice, they're in 1-1. So this is very important free throws.
Oh, absolutely.
For Harris.
No question about it here, Tia. This is where you have to connect. And if they can get it down to 4 points, really changes the complexion of things, that's for sure.
I'm actually surprised the Archangels don't have Marshall back in the ballgame.
Yeah.
I feel that she was very important in getting them this lead.
Marshall has done, in my humble opinion, a masterful job of running the half-court offense for Missouri here tonight.
Yeah, she's been the leader of the floor.
Yeah.
Her energy level has been
Yeah.
amazing, and I think she's the main reason why the Archangels have gotten this lead. But Harris is able to connect on both, and now the Black Ice are only within 4.
Ooh.
And a near turnover by the Archangels. Wow.
On a jump ball.
Great defense by Bo
Yes.
Harris down low.
I thought for a second there Grosnickel
Had an easy two.
yeah, had the position. Although at first glance this appears to be something of a mismatch on the jump ball, but as we've seen, stranger things have happened here tonight.
If Ty Smith can get a hand on the ball during the jump ball, then there's no... And Bo almost gets it, but the Archangels retain possession of the ball.
And here we go.
Turnover. Sally with a wide open layup.
And
she
gets
connects. We have a 2-point ball game now. This is going to go down to the wire. And so Cook has the ball right now. She's calling for a screen. Dampier now has it. Whoa.
Ooh.
And Sally.
And that's a foul you really didn't need to commit.
Not at all. They had 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Didn't
Yeah,
really know what they
yeah.
were doing. And now you put them on the free throw line for easy baskets. Looks like she just got a little bit too excited there.
You need to be aggressive on defense, but at the same time, you have to be smart.
Right. And Dampier connects on the first free throw. And Kashina Alexander's back in the game.
Yeah. Wow, that's good to see.
That's tough. Dampier hits both free throws, and now it's a 4-point ball game. And Missouri calls a timeout.
Well, at least now down 4, it changes your thinking here a little bit, I think, from a Minnesota Black Ice perspective. You don't necessarily have to rely on the 3 here. There's still a lot of time left.
Right.
But again, this is where you want to go for a quality look, a quality shot. This is where I think you want to make a concerted effort, trying to get the ball down low to Jillian Bierke-Lech or Ashley Ellis-Milan. Somebody could position themselves, and if not get the shot, at least get to the foul line.
Right. And with 1 minute and 7 seconds left, they can do just that. They have to take care of the ball and get it inside.
Yeah. Now, I mean, if you get an open look from behind the arc, absolutely you take it. But I think your first main effort has to be to try and get the ball down low.
I agree.
And I have a sneaking suspicion that Melissa Young is saying, no turnovers.
I would hope so. I feel like that's been what she's been preaching the whole game. That's what I would be preaching if I was the coach.
Or take care of the ball.
Right.
Got to take care of the rock. Sheena Alexander still moving a little gingerly, but here we go.
So Sally's going to bring the ball up the court. Scott had an open look, but decides not to take it. Sally wide open for 3.
Got
it. And she hits it.
Well, she picked a very opportune time to get hot from behind the arc, and it paid off.
She's hit her last 2 threes, and now they're picking up the
Wow.
And a little too aggressive there by Sally, and she gets called for the foul. But it's a one. Oh,
no foul?
No foul. Okay. Correction, no foul, timeout.
I thought they called it a foul on her too.
But we have 45 seconds left. It's a 1-point ball game. The Black Ice are down by 1. Interesting to see what these coaches cook up in the huddle.
Well, I think, for you as a player, moments like this that you really live for. Because you don't get a lot of these opportunities.
This is the reason why I play basketball, honestly. Like, no matter how these outcomes turn out, win or lose, this is what you live for.
Yeah.
This is like where the pressure situations come in, the intensity comes in, everything you work for. And I mean, if you win,
yeah,
it's just. But it'll be interesting to see what they have cooked up here. We got a 1-point game. And so this possession, though, is crucial for the Archangels. If they can get a basket here.
I'm surprised Marshall isn't in there.
I don't know what's going on with that.
I don't know.
And now the crowd's getting into it. As Zampier has the ball, she passes it out to Boyd. Whoa. Boyd puts up a 3 and misses everything, but the Archangels are able to retain possession. And the Black Ice get a steal. They forgot to reset the shot clock.
Yeah.
So it'll still be the Black Ice ball. I'm guessing the ball will be taken out down low, but
yeah,
we'll see where they place it. And this is good news for the Black Ice. They have a full shot clock. They don't need to rush anything. They need to get a good shot and play some defense.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, Tia. If the Black Ice can somehow sneak out, if the Black Ice can somehow sneak out of here tonight with a W, they'll have done it the hard way.
And if they do it the hard way, they pretty much brought it on themselves, though.
Now, I thought that might be a foul right there, away from the ball.
And they turn the ball over. Once again, what you were talking about earlier, kind of doing too much as opposed to just doing the easy play instead of the pretty play.
Still, though, 14.8 seconds left.
Plenty of time.
Let's see what happens here at the free throw line.
And we have Cook at the free throw line. And the Black Ice call a timeout. And so Sally, she has hit 2 threes late in the game, but she has got to take care of the ball.
Yeah, and she knows that, and you know, it's been a frustrating outing for her tonight overall, and she'll come back in the next game stronger and better.
Right.
And this was the one thing I thought at the top that I wanted to see how well the Black Ice would do, you know, coming out of the gate, you know, if they'd be able to limit the turnovers. Early on, they looked good.
Right.
And so I thought if the turnovers were going to come, they would come early, but rather they've come late.
Right. At the wrong time, but somehow they've managed to stay in this ball game.
Yeah. You think about being part of the second period when the Black Ice had built a 16-point lead and looked to be in firm control of things, and then that late run that the Archangels made to cut it down to 4 points at halftime, that really changed the whole, you know, momentum, the whole complexion of this contest. Right. And from that point on, the Black Ice has really struggled to find any kind of rhythm offensively.
Right. And as these ladies come back onto the court, we have 14.8 seconds left. The Black Ice are down by 1, but Cook is at the free throw line for 2 shots. And so depending on how many of these shots she makes, it can completely change the game. So these are very important for the Archangels. And she connects on the first.
And gets them both.
Of them.
So now you got to hope you can get an open look from behind the arc.
And it looks like
double dribble.
And the Black Ice once again turned the ball over. Looks like she got caught up on the screen there, though.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was her own player or Missouri's player. That's unfortunate.
So the Black Ice, which fought back from a 9-point deficit to get it down to 1 scant point, now look to be in dire straits here with 6 seconds left.
Oh. Black Ice nearly get a steal there, but instead it turned into a foul. And Grosnick was going to go to the foul line.
She really played a pivotal role in the comeback by the Archangels, you know, coming down the stretch of that second half, getting offensive rebounds, something that she did very well, obviously, a weekend before. And she's come up with some clutch points, well, you know, including that 1 3-pointer we saw.
Right.
early on in
the
that
game.
first half.
So it seems the refs are discussing something.
And now has a chance to ice things here with just 6 seconds left.
Oh, so that must have been what the refs were discussing. At first it was 6 seconds left.
Yeah.
Now they've taken
Oh, they've taken
off
it,
the
taken.
clock.
Okay, all right.
And so now we're at an even 5 seconds left. And Gross-Nichols at the line. And
Still a sliver of a chance here for the black ice, but they've got to hope that she misses now.
And 5 seconds is a lot of time, so if she does miss it,
That's true.
they don't have to go too fast. But they will need a three-pointer to at least tie the game.
Miss. So here we go.
Christine Alexander with the ball. You need a three. Scott, oh!
Did she get it? No.
Nope. Even if she did get that shot off
I
in
don't-
time, it
Yeah.
wouldn't have counted because she
Yeah.
missed it. So there you have it. The Missouri Archangels are able to win their first game of the season.
76-73 score. Definitely a frustrating finish here for the Minnesota Black Ice. Again, I'm sure they'll look at all the turnovers as the one big thing that stands out like a sore thumb in this one, Tia. And you know they're going to have to clean things up tomorrow against St. Louis Surge if they're going to get in the W column.
Definitely. And looking forward for the Black Ice, yes, they did have a lot of turnovers today, but that's something that can be fixed. And so I'm pretty sure in practice they're going to work on that, and these next few games that they have coming up, those will be fixed, and they'll be able to hit those shots that they've been hitting and keep it moving after that.
And you know, like you said, I was so impressed with Mallory Marshall, the Missouri Archangels. She did a masterful job running that point guard spot for Missouri tonight. She really did. I mean, like you said, she provided the energy. They kept control of the ball, and they got the W here tonight.
And like we talked about, Gross-Nichols was the turning point in the game with the few points that she had, but Marshall was pivotal in keeping that lead and, well, getting them that lead and keeping it through the rest of the game.
And I'm joined by Mallory Marshall of Missouri. Mallory, that was quite the finish, and in order to get there, you had to come back from a 16-point deficit early on. So tell us about your resiliency.
I mean, coach has been really hard on us in practice about, you know, pushing the ball up the floor. Our main goal was just to attack the basket and, you know, draw some fouls and keep the intensity going, and that's what we did.
And what would you make of Minnesota? This was their first game. They had some new faces, and you know, they struggled a bit in the fourth, but they made you sweat for it.
They're a great team. They're a great team. It's just that, you know, we probably worked a little bit harder and we just came out on top.
And tell me about your team and how you've bonded together, because the Archangels, I would say, maybe are the little-known sibling, perhaps, with the St. Louis Surge being defending champions here. But what would you make of this program, and how does this continue your passion for basketball?
Well, I played in the WBCBL before. It's a great league, you know, for players who are trying to go to the next level. Our players, we have a great bunch of girls. We're all new faces, too. We just come out here and we just play the game of basketball. You know, we all know what we're doing. We just come out and we just play the game of basketball the way we know how to do it.
And let me get over here because I think I was crouching on you a little bit. But so what got you involved in the sport, and how does this allow you to continue playing?
Well, I've been playing basketball since I was about 6 years old. I love basketball. I played at Henderson State University for 2 years. Prior to that, I was at New Mexico Junior College. I hope to continue my basketball career, you know, trying to go overseas, build up my stats, and I can't do that without the help of my teammates. They're a great bunch of women.
And then I guess elsewhere, what other career goals do you have, and you know, what are you looking forward to now that, you know, you're finished with college and you're out in the real world, as they say?
Well, you know, I hope to be a basketball coach. I got my degree in general studies with my 3 emphasis in psychology, sociology, and recreation. I can also do social work. That's something I'm also looking forward to doing, is working with children.
Is there a reason that working with children, is that something that attracts you, I presume?
Yeah, it's just something that I'm good at. You know, we all have those things that we're just naturally good at, and working with children is one of my strong points.
And how does a league like this kind of help continue to foster a passion for the basketball? It doesn't get the same coverage as the WNBA, but you know, we see it pretty good competition, and we had a photo finish tonight.
Well, the best thing about this league is full of D2 and D1 players. And when you got a bunch of girls who are competitive, who played at those higher levels, it's always a good game to watch.
And finally, is there anyone you want to say hi to that will watch this game online or on TV?
Hi, Mommy. Hi, Daddy. I love y'all. Irby, Rainey, Larry. Those are my siblings. And thank y'all for giving me this opportunity, my coaches.
Well, congratulations on the win, Mallory. Hopefully this will be a good omen as you get a win in the W column now, and we'll see what happens.
All right. Thank you guys so much. Y'all have a good evening.
Thank you. That was Mallory Marshall of Missouri, and that concludes our coverage from here. Stay tuned for the Minnesota-St. Louis Surge game, which will take place at this very court. For Tia Elbert and Alex Nagel, I'm Mike Peden. We'll see you next time.